اشفع لنا عند Allah. O you who is closer to Allah than I am, please act as an intercessor between me and him. He loves you more. I am more distant from him. These people themselves, Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam has said about Tawbah itself, لا شفيع أنجح من التوبة. There is no intercessor. There is nothing that can come between you and Allah to get you closer to him more successful than Tawbah. Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam himself is saying, there is no intercessor more successful than Tawbah. And we see the nature of this Tawbah, characteristics of this Tawbah are as such that for the person who undertakes this Tawbah to Allah, tries to return to Allah from being distant from him, this Tawbah cleanses a person. That is why we have another hadith from Sayyid al-Awsiya alayhi salam, whereby he said, "At-tawbatu tutahhiru al-qulub wa taghsilu adh-dhunub." That Tawbah cleanses the heart, purifies the heart, and washes away the sins. What does this Tawbah? I knew yesterday that I had to talk about this topic of Tawbah. I was wondering, how do I explain, how do I illustrate more clearly that Tawbah washes away the sins? Such that we have a hadith from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam that he says, إِذَا أَذْنَبَ الرَّجُلُ خَرَجَ فِي قَلْبِهِ نُقْطَةٌ سَوْدَاء. When a man sins, a black spot emerges upon his heart. فَإِن تَابَ الْمَحَاتِ. Then when he repents, or if he repents, if he partakes in this Tawbah, this spot is wiped out and erased. وَإِن زَادَ زَادَتْ. And if he continues or increases sinning in this way, this spot, this black dot also increases and expands on his heart. How do we explain this? How do I illustrate this in an easier fashion? I was wondering yesterday, and yesterday I spoke at the Ahlul Bayt Center. Whilst I was speaking at the Ahlul Bayt Center, it began snowing outside. Then I went home, or to the home of the Shaykh, where I'm staying, and the snow was still falling. We reached the house, and I opened the car door. And just underneath the car, where I was supposed to step out, I saw the layer of snow. Beautiful, white, flat, untampered, pure, undisturbed. I almost didn't feel like stepping on it. I would ruin it. I would make it ugly. More footsteps would come on it. I didn't want this to happen. But I had to go inside the house. So I stepped and I ruined that flat, wonderful patch of snow. And we made footsteps all the way to the front door. And I looked behind me and the snow was still falling. Few minutes later, as the snow was falling, the footsteps would once again be covered and the snow would become as it was before. Pure, flat, serene, as if those ugly footsteps were never there. فَإِن تَابَ الْمَحَاتِ. If this Tawbah is performed, these black spots on the heart are erased as if they were never there in the first place. But this Babullah al-Wasi', this expansive and vast door of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of Tawbah, needs to be knocked. We can't just say, oh, Allah is a Tawwab, so we'll be forgiven. No, we have to knock the door and go in. We have to take this opportunity. And if we knock the door, why should it not open? For Imam Salih alayhi salam himself says, فَإِنَّهُ لَيْسَ مِنْ بَابٍ يُكْثَرْ قَرْءُهُ إِلَّا أَوْشَكَ أَنْ يُفْتَحْ لِصَاحِبِهِ. There is no such door which is persistently knocked all the time, except that eventually it will open for the person who's knocking. This is a Babullah of Tawbah. If we knock to Allah sincerely, there is no reason why this door should not open and why we should not enter. However, we need to open this door and walk into this door and return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before it is too late. As we heard from the hadith of Rasulullah, he said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says He will not shield this Tawbah or veil this Tawbah away from His slave until the point he gargles, he dies. Until that point the door will be open. And so after that point, as Imam Sajjad alayhi salam says, إِذَا بَلَغَتِ النَّفْسُ هَذِهِ, when the soul reaches this point, means when it's about to die, إِذَا بَلَغَتِ الْحُلْقُومِ, when the nafs reaches this point, when it's about to die, إِذَا بَلَغَتِ النَّفْسُ هَذِهِ وَأَهْوَى بِيَدِهِ إِلَىٰ حَلْقِهِ, and he pointed and he tapped his throat. When the nafs reaches this point, at the time of death, لم يكن للعالم توبة وكانت للجاهل توبة. At this point, even the great pious scholar will have no more chance to do tawbah. Despite the fact that before this, even the jahil and the ignorant of Allah has a chance to do tawbah, but at this point, even the scholar has no more chance to do tawbah. So we have to take this opportunity before it closes, before this door is closed on us. Because we don't know when we are going to die. Who here has a guarantee that I will live for the next 5 years, 5 days, 5 minutes? Who has a guarantee? No one. So we have to take the opportunity to do tawbah as soon as possible, before this door is closed on us. When talking about tawbah, we look at the person who wishes to absolve himself of sins, who wishes to go away from sins, who wishes to be disassociated with sins, not associated with his wrongdoings and sins in front of Allah. I don't want to be associated with wrongdoing. A person who is in this stage of i'tidar, of excusing himself, there are 3 possible scenarios that he takes, and there is no 4th possibility. إما أن يقول المعتذر لم أفعل. Either this person who wants to distance himself from wrongdoing denies it. No, I didn't do it. He's in denial. I did not do it. We see this sometimes in ourselves. Not openly, but we, in a subtle fashion, we do it. Maybe sometimes we're doing ghibah and backbiting others. And then someone tells, brother, this is ghibah, sister, this is ghibah, you should be doing this. I'm not doing ghibah, I'm just joking. إِمَّا أَن يَقُولَ الْمُعْتَذِرُ لَمْ أَفْعَلْ. Either he says, no, I didn't do it. So the first type of distancing himself is denial. And the nafs, because of its ego, doesn't want to admit that I've done something wrong. So he goes into denial, or she goes into denial. The soul, the ego, doesn't want to admit this, that yes, I was wrong. No, I didn't do something wrong. So the second possibility is that he says, or she says, yes, I did it, but it was because of this and this and this, that's why I did it. فَعَلْتُ لِأَجْلِ كَذَا وَكَذَا. Yes, I did it, but I have an excuse. Trying to justify sin. A person maybe commits lewd acts and promiscuous sins. Sins of a nature whereby if he were to be married or she were to be married, they wouldn't commit those sins. But he says, or she says, I committed these, it was because the society was not letting me get married. The society put hindrances and preventions on my getting married. That's why I committed these things. Or I was in this situation, that's why a sin is a sin is a sin. There is no way to justify a sin. There's no way to excuse oneself of sin. And often we find ourselves, more often than not, in these first 2 categories. Either I tell myself, I haven't done this. It wasn't me, I didn't do it. This is not a sin. Or the second category of trying to justify my actions. Sometimes we find this from ourselves, people who come from our cultural backgrounds, the way we live with our families, from the Indian subcontinent, Pakistanis, Indians, from the Arab world, Iraqis, Lebanese, and other countries. The way we live with our families sometimes is not correct. Sometimes I treat my wife, I take advantage of her, or I take her for granted. I don't thank her, I'm not appreciative of what she does for me.